Hey, Susan.
Hey, Eric, how are you?
I'm doing well. You look beautiful.
Thank you. You look handsome.
Is that to all your husbands?
I do, all of them.
Okay. Well, here we are. Talking about a dynamic of marriage. Greetings to all of you
Hey,
guys
how are
listening or watching or viewing. We hope you're well. What do you think we should cover today?
What do you think we should cover today?
It'd be scary if they responded. But maybe if you put in the chat something that you'd be interested in sharing, we can take note of that and communicate in the future.
That'd be good. Let's talk about communication.
Okay. Communication. Let's talk about communication.
Let's talk about fighting.
Oh, boy.
The F word.
Wait, hold on. Ooh, the F word.
Fighting.
Fighting.
That one, yeah.
Okay. Well, first, are we okay?
Let's find out.
Okay. Jesus, I'm scared. All right, well, what about communication? What about fighting?
Are you interviewing me or are we having a conversation?
We're having a conversation, dear. Why do couples fight?
I think everyone fights at some point. People fight within themselves and definitely with other people at some point when you disagree about something or you feel some kind of way about something. And I think the fighting part, I think people need to communicate. Perhaps more communication would be less fighting, if that makes any sense.
It doesn't make sense.
It doesn't?
No, I said it does.
So, but fighting is no. I mean, to me, I had to learn that it's a part of the relationship.
Come on, wait, rewind.
I said I had to learn that fighting is a part of the relationship. Believe it or not, I grew up with this ideal, I guess a fantasy in my mind that once I found that amazing, special someone who would love me for me, that he would love me for me, and that we wouldn't have to fight. We wouldn't have to fight, because when we fight, that would mean that something's wrong with us, or that we're not, we don't really have true love. And so to me, fights were indicators that it wasn't going to work out. and this guy who loves to communicate loves to fight too. I think so.
That.
I think he used to have this confrontation is the first step to reconciliation. So I think he kind of fed off of confrontation.
Wait.
He's very confrontational.
I want to tap in.
That's the word.
I want to tap in.
Okay.
I don't love to fight, although there is a slight sexiness.
So would you consider yourself to be confrontational? That's my question.
No, let me address this mislabeling. To some of it is true. I think fighting can be sexy, but that's biblical. And it's biblical. If you haven't checked out a previous video we did about quality communication, we expressed that anything that we communicate, we attempt to communicate based on God's word, the Bible. And when you look in the Bible in Genesis, when it talks about a man, God gave Adam a suitable helpmate. One of the words for suitable, we think of complementary, we think of on the same level. Opposition is one of those words. Like, there's nobody that can get in my business like this woman right here. Like other people, I might be able to manipulate with my words if I were that type of person.
If you were that type of person.
She doesn't buy the BS.
None of it.
I love that about. I hate it. It bothers me. It frustrates me. But I love it about her because it's going to make me better. I think that's sexy.
But there may be a game to that.
There's no game.
An intrigue at least. Because you can be somewhat of a provocateur at times, or confrontational is another term that I would use.
She ain't no angel in this sense.
I'm not trying to say that I'm an angel. What I am saying is that I've learned over time, because there were seasons and there were times where it would seem like you fed off of, or you enjoyed a little bit that confrontation. Maybe it's because you thought it was sexy or whatever, but for me, the way that I viewed confrontation was different. So I was having a very different experience from you, whereas you may have been, I won't say feeding, that's a bit much, but there was something that you were getting from it, that you were able to extract that I wasn't.
I wouldn't say that. I don't. As much as I respect that you can challenge me in ways that no other human can. The aftermath of feeling like I'm in a doghouse, or feeling like there's this tension or this awkward space between us, is the worst feeling in the world. I can't stand that. You know that. I can't stand that feeling, because I always want us to be in harmony. But I think what you said is so important, because there's a lot of people that believe, well, if we're fighting, then what's wrong with us? Now, let me be clear. It could be an indicator, because there's a whole much more other layers that there could be something is wrong with you guys as a couple. That's something you have to explore. But fighting in and of itself, or arguing or disagreeing, is going to be something that couples should be prepared to be used to for the rest of their life, for the simple fact that you're always going to be a woman and I'm always going to be a man. And so I got this handy dandy coin out of the car, and I just, tell me what you see.
Heads.
No, that's not what you see. Tell me what you see.
I see you holding a coin in my face.
Okay, so you're taking away from the exercise. Even though you see me holding the coin.
What do you want?
The coin
is there an
is figurative. I see tails. There's no way I see heads. You're making it up. Okay,
If
she's
you
not
say-
pacifying the exercise. But the point that I'm making is, from a male's lens.
No, wait. You asked me what I saw, and I said, I see heads. And you told me I didn't.
Right.
You're trying to make the point that because you can't see.
Because I can't see it. Right.
It is what it is to you.
Absolutely.
Okay.
And from a woman's standpoint, there are things that you're going to see as being a woman, and as a man, there's things I'm going to see as being a man. And this isn't just marital relationship. This is father, son, mother, daughter. So, I mean, there's going to be just a different lens.
Yeah.
And we have to become mature enough to say, we're going to disagree. We're not going to agree on what we see. But that doesn't mean that has to make the relationship bad or toxic.
So to that point, let me see your coin. Mm. But the other thing is, I guess you seeing, what do you see?
Hold on.
See those seasons?
Now I see heads.
You see heads.
Yes.
And I see tails.
Can you really see it?
I can see it, yes.
Oh, okay.
Wow. And so with that said, what you see is what you see. What I see is what I see. But us learning how to get to a place where we step back a little bit and we can say, you know what? I see 25 cents. Because how much do you, not what you see, how much do you see?
The totality.
How much do you see?
The wholeness. I see 25 cents.
And I see 25 cents.
Yes.
So that's another perspective.
That's so
place
good
that you
right
get to.
there.
That value is the same regardless of what side of the coin. That value is the same regardless of what side of the coin that you're looking at.
Absolutely. I think that was a great example. That's great. Y'all should be good. Y'all don't need any other tips for fighting. They're like, yeah, right. Listen,
No, there are some tips.
There's some practical tips for real, because that in what we just said. I mean, I want you to understand, we've been married 26 years, and I am really grateful and proud of our disagreement conversations. I don't like when we disagree, and sometimes because you're so adamant about what you see and you really want the other person to see what you see, that emotional passion for it, you're trying to force them to see what you see, that gets in the way, and that's when the disagreement becomes toxic. But I am grateful for where we are when we disagree. I don't like it as much as you think I do. But considering where we came from, I mean, we had some very toxic, because if you're disagreeing with immaturity, then you're going to belittle the other person, insult their intelligence, say snide comments, give accusations, you raise your voice, they raise their voice, it gets escalated, it spirals out of control.
You're listening to defend. Even if you're talking, I'm not really hearing what you're trying to say. I'm listening so that I can have my comeback ready. Finish, whatever. It didn't matter what you were saying. I was just stacking up my response.
Right. So actually, I'm glad you said that, because it reminds me of this passage in James chapter 1, verse 19. And I'm reading it I like Amplified. I've been reading Amplified because it just really amplifies. It says, understand this, my beloved brothers and sisters. Let everyone be quick to hear. And in parentheses, it says, be careful and a thoughtful listener, not listening to debate. Slow to speak. And in parentheses says, a speaker of carefully chosen words. And slow to anger, patient, reflective, forgiving. For the resentment, deep-seated anger of a man does not produce the righteousness of God, that standard of behavior which he requires from us. Now,
that was a lot.
It is a lot, but this might resonate with the people of faith more so. So I hope anybody that's in a relationship will watch.
So can you paraphrase that to the basic passage that is quoted to be?
Well, slow to speak. Mm-hmm. Well, quick to listen is first. Mm-hmm. Because and that tells us that our most important communication muscle is our listening. And it goes back to what you said. I'm not listening to debate. I'm not listening to catch you I'm going to catch you slip up and then I'm going to use that against you. I'm listening to honestly hear. And I'm not even just hearing your words. I'm hearing what you're not saying. I'm hearing what I might have missed because I've been so busy defending myself. Right? That's tough. My gosh, that's so tough. Being slow to speak. And I like what it said. And you do a good job. You do a better job than me in this.
Oh, you're just saying.
No, I'm really serious. Being thoughtful with the words. Because I'm thinking, why be fake? Just say what's on your
words.
Get it off your chest. Get it off your chest. But I'm really trying to ignite something on another level as opposed to, all right, there's a tactful way that I can say this. There's a loving way that I can say this. There's a respectful way that I can say this.
I had to learn that, though, because when we were earlier in our marriage, I was right there with you. And we were just like bumping heads, rather, as far as I was ready to come right back at you. And I learned after a while, when I recognized, okay, he's feeding off of this. I'm not giving you anything to feed off of anymore. I'm going to just slow down and let him speak. Let him say everything.
Feeding.
Okay, well, maybe not.
And feeding. I would think at times we were mutually feeding. But
perhaps. My point is, I learned a strategy to just pause, let you say your piece, and then kind of just let it ride, so to speak. Because that, for me, began to diffuse or de-escalate the situation. Otherwise, it was just going to go somewhere. It would always turn and go somewhere. What we would start off talking about something so small,
it'll spiral
and
out
it would
of control.
Just turn into and morph into a bigger situation. And I had to learn how to just walk back. Like, wait a second. If I say this, it's going to go that way. It's going to go left. It's going to go, and so that those slowing down, that intentional pause or slowing down or being thoughtful helps. And so I guess for someone, you may just need to slow down, pause, and be quick to listen, but slow to speak. My grandmama used to say that her grandmama used to say, someone way back used to, this is something you teach with children. When you look at how God made all of us, and he gave us 2 ears, but only 1 mouth. Mm-hmm. It's this basic math.
And he gave us 2 eyes. Because again, you can not just be listening with your ears, but you're listening with, what do you see? That's what I've tried to study you, like when you get angry, and I don't always get it right, but I try to see and not just hear what you're saying. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. But to your point, the 1 mouth, we dominate our communication with our mouth as opposed to with the other ones that he gave us 2 of.
You got it backwards.
We do. I want to just really share it, slow to anger. And I love what it says in parentheses, which means be patient and reflective and forgiving. Forgiving.
There's F word.
There's another F word to counter your F word. But we've got to give grace to each other because we will slip up. in our passionate disagreeing. We will, and we've got to give grace to each other, because if we don't, then we're basically saying we don't deserve grace. And none of us really do, but we sure would like it. Something that Susan and I, when we coach couples, we talk about rules of engagement. And it's a practical tool we want to offer to you. You know, non-negotiables that you have when you're communicating in conflict. Like, somebody better not call you out of your name, or they better not. Basically, something that someone says in the midst of conflict, and it just says, I'm done. I can't have this conversation with you anymore because you have insulted me, you violated my space, you have done or said something that means that we can't have a productive, healthy conversation in conflict. We recommend that you go to your separate corners and you write down your non-negotiables, and your spouse writes down their non-negotiables, and then you come together and you share them and you put them on this list that becomes your constitution for conflict. And then you go into what you designate to be a fight room, which we don't recommend to be your bedroom, because that should be a place that's intimate. Well, disagreement room, war room, I don't know what you would, I mean, you put that on the wall and you try to work out the conflict, and if someone violates a non-negotiable, you point to that. And initially it's going to be tough, because the way that we communicate with each other, we've been trained, it's been a part of our culture, it comes from our background, it's our survival instinct, right? But if you continue to practice it, then it helps to take the toxicity out of the disagreement that you are going to have to address, and hopefully you do it in a healthy way. Well, we have to actually go because there's an appointment that we can't miss. But we did want to make the time to encourage you to not be discouraged about fighting or disagreeing. We encourage you to practically use those tools as it pertains to rules of engagement. And we encourage you to meditate on God's word, specifically James 1:19, and ask God ways how you can be quicker to listen, slower to speak, and slower to get angry. And remember this last tool. When all else fails and you're married, it doesn't hurt to fight naked. Hey! Hey!
It kind of works. Honestly. Sometimes the arguments just go right out the window.
And another thing, I don't remember what I was mad at you about.
And that may not work for everyone.